Hello students, it's me Subham Tiwari, your geography teacher. We are on the topic of class 10 geography NCERT chapter 1st, resources and development. In this video we are going to talk about development of resources and we will also discuss Earth Summit 1992, Agenda 21 and sustainable development. Resources are vital for human survival. The first line is very important in development of resources. That means they are going to maintain the quality of life. If you have greed, that means you are going to deplete the resources. And only few individuals have greed. And if you have need, that means you have requirement. So there's accumulation of resources. That's why discrimination between rich and poor. If you belongs to rich, you have more resources. If you belongs to poor, that means you have no resources. So let's start. There's a very important topic, Earth Summit 1992. It is a very important. It is the first international summit, and the Earth Summit was a UN, that means United Nations event. So it is also known as the Rio Summit and Rio Conference because it held in Rio de Janeiro, 3rd to 14th June 1992. Earlier there was a conference, the United Nations Conference on Human Environment 1972, but it was not wider than the Earth Summit, the first international summit 1992. So let's talk. There are some specific bodies like UNCED, CBD, UNFCCC and UNCCD. I am going to explain it. The United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, UNCED. Okay, there are some issues belongings to UNCED like production of toxic components, lead, petroleum chemicals, and the climatic change, vehicle emissions, polluted airs, and health problems, and the growing uses and limited supply of water. So it is a very important to discuss. That's why Earth Summit 1992 was held. And CBD, the Convention on Biological Diversity. The full form is the Convention on Biological Diversity, and UNFCCC, the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And last one is UNCCD. It was also very important because the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. Okay, so there were four main bodies discussed in Earth Summit, and the important achievement of the summit was an agreement on the climatic change convention, which is turned led to the Kyoto. Kyoto is a city of Japan, Kyoto Protocol, and the Paris Agreement. Paris, you know about France, COP21. So let's start. What what was the results? The Earth Summit resulted. The Earth Summit resulted, first thing, Rio Declaration on Environment and Development and Agenda 21 and Forest Principles. So when we talk about Rio 10 and Rio 20, I want to explain here. Rio 10 held in 2002 and Rio 20 held 2012. So Johannesburg, South Africa, Rio 10, and Rio 20 again Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So Rio 10, that means 1992 to 2002, 10 years, and Rio 20 means 1992 to 2012, 20 years. Okay, so let's talk about Agenda 21. Agenda 21, the Rio Declaration on Environment and Development and the Statement of Principles for the Sustainable Management of Forests, were adopted by more than 178 countries at the United Nations. So okay, this is very important, and when we talk about Agenda 21, 21 refers to the original target year of 2021, somewhere 21st century also. Okay, so it is a document which it is a document with pages and chapters further grouped four sections, and that is very important because you have to know about the sections. First, first was social and economic. In social and economic, we talk about poverty and health, and second, conservation and management of resources for development. And in this point, in this section, they talk about atmospheric protection and deforestation and biodiversity and pollution, many more things. And third one is strengthening the role of major groups like NGOs, non-government organizations, and local authorities, communities. And last one is means of implementation, like science, technology transfers, and education. So many things. So again, it is going to divide in sub parts because Agenda 21 is a very important that time, and when they want to implement the means of Agenda 21, they are going to make SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, and further they are going to become MDG, Millennium Development Goals. So this is very important, and I want to talk about sustainable development. So the Burnt Land report in 1987 by UNWCED, that means the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development. Again, the United Nations World Commission on Environment and Development, okay, coined the term sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own need. That means you are going to conserve resources for upcoming generation. It is very, very important. Okay. So there are some SDG, like some multiple type questions. How many SDG, sustainable development goals? So 17 sustainable development goals, like no poverty, zero hunger, good health, well-being, quality education, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, and a decent work, and economic growth. There are so many things. So this is the video, and I hope you can understand. If there is any problem, just comment